I'm going to demo ABQ. ABQ is a universal test runner that runs test suites in parallel. It's the best tool for distributing a test suite across parallel jobs in CI, and it can also be used to parallelize a test suite locally. It's universal in that it's one CLI that works with many testing frameworks. It's currently compatible with RSpec, PyTest, Jest, and Playwright. I'm going to demo it here using RSpec. Let's go ahead and take a look at this test suite that I've set up. I just have a single spec file here. It has 28 tests in it thanks to this loop, and each test is going to take 1/4 of a second. Of course, when we run this in serial, we should expect this to take 7 seconds. Let's go ahead and run it just using RSpec. We don't have ABQ set up yet, and make sure that's the case. There we go. As we expected, 28 examples finished in just over 7 seconds. Now, let's use ABQ. The only change I need to make to my project configuration is adding the ABQ bindings. To do that, we'll just add the RSpec ABQ gem, go back to our terminal, run bundle. RSpec ABQ is installed, and we're good to go. I can now use ABQ test to run that same test suite in 2 parallel processes. And as we would expect, each process finished in 3.5 seconds, half the time as before, each one running 14 examples. So you can see that overall, our 28 tests now finished in 4 seconds. There's a little bit of overhead, so it wasn't quite twice as fast, but it was pretty close. One of the cool things about ABQ is that it doesn't replace any of your existing tools, it just wraps them. So when I was running ABQ test RSpec here, RSpec is RSpec CLI. I can actually pass any command to ABQ that I wanted. If I had a shell script, I could pass that in right here. One great thing about that is if your testing framework has certain features like tagging tests, which RSpec can do. Let's set up, uses a foo tag, say foo true. This will still work with ABQ. So normally I could run that test using RSpec tag foo. There we can see just one example. And if I take that same command, run it with ABQ, same thing, one example. So I'm using the RSpec CLI. I'm not replacing it in any way. I'm just wrapping it inside ABQ. That's it. Parallelizing a test suite with ABQ is that easy. If you want to learn more about it, check out the website at abq.build. And ABQ is an open source tool, so you can also find it on GitHub.